one of y'all want to do a cap over?
We're talking about what to do with a an orphanage filled with vampire kobolds. And he met a hobo on the street and he said, "Let me come with you, adventurer." And you were
Yeah.
like, "You know, you look kind of sketchy, but okay." And now you won't
I,
stop talking about fate and divinity and shit.
All right,
hold
so you
on,
guys are
launching up
still
the
in the
game.
bar. Because if I remember correctly, you guys tucked in for the night. So, quick question: do you guys share a room, or do you guys choose different rooms?
I'm getting my own room.
Can the homeless guy even buy his own room?
I'm not that homeless. I've got 10 gold.
He can buy his own room.
That is quite literally enough for a person to live off comfortably for like how long? 2 years, 3?
All right, Offie.
Depends. Who's trying to live comfortably?
Yes, man.
Are you in? Well, Blizzborg, Offie, and Crow. Are you guys sharing a room again?
Uh, I don't think we even shared a room last time. I think we got 2 rooms and then the egg thing happened, so probably not.
Okay, so you guys got separate rooms.
I believe so.
All right. You guys have these rooms.
Cool.
So go ahead and roleplay what you guys are gonna do.
I am bonding with my dragon,
Okay.
basically playing with it, trying to get not to climb on the fucking rafters again.
Roll me animal handling to see how that's going.
Oh, homie, I don't even need to roll. I know it's not going well, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Eliable.
It's going decent. You've had to pry the dragon off the wall a couple of times. At the current moment, though, it's kind of gotten stuck on the wall.
Like stuck as in he can't get loose.
Stuck as in he was clawing the same path up, except his claws caught, and now he's kind of stuck there.
I'm gonna take him off the wall and just say, hopefully this gets you to stop doing stupid stuff like that.
So, Crow, what about you?
Mine is well behaved. Thank you very much.
You're Crow. Do you brush out its tail?
I'm going to take care of this thing as best as I can.
All right. What do you do?
That's probably going to be just a lot of grooming on my part.
So you start by brushing out its tail or ears.
Yep.
Crow, roll me a sleight of hand and perception check. Or better yet, just roll me a sleight of hand check.
Alright, let's see. How
Because
good I am.
while you're brushing it out, you notice that the brush catches on some stuff. Yeah, no, apparently the dragon wasn't the only one picking pockets.
Well, isn't that just dandy?
Yeah, you just see a couple of copper pieces, one gold. Um, yeah, basically just see the rest of it's just seemingly random stuff that's picked up and hidden in its tail. So, what you gonna do?
Uh, groom it, and I guess sort of just put all that off to the side.
Yeah. You're finding a lot of interesting things. At one point, you find a dagger.
What the fuck?
Anyway, on to Reese. Well, Ainz is no longer with us, but while Crow brushes out his and discovers what's hidden, the dragon trying to form a nest on the rafters. And what about you, Reese? What you up to?
I'm going to once I'm certain I have a room, I'm gonna head out to find how populated is this town, or is it just a bar?
It is a
I'm looking.
well-populated town, and it seems like they just had a bunch of people coming over to visit or come
Did
through.
I
So,
when I was walking in, did I find any libraries around? Because I would like to go visit that library.
not big. Well, it's big enough to have a little library, but it seems more for like children.
Why is this fucking mini lesson so hard?
I'm sorry, Paige.
I said that it seems like the library that they do have in town is mostly for kids.
Oh, okay. Any chance I could find someone who might know the history of this town?
You could talk to the mayor.
That'll work. I'll go see if I can visit the mayor.
Alright. So you visit the mayor. What do? You head over to where the mayor's office is.
I question him about the orphanage. I want to see if I can get any more information about it.
Well, what do you ask?
I ask, is it abandoned?
The orphanage is not abandoned. It is
We could have
thriving.
told you that.
Like,
Sorry.
how about do they? So all right. So who runs the orphanage then?
Marianne.
How many kids?
A lot of kids. More or less, they don't really have a number at the moment.
All right. Oh gosh. Is there any possible way to get into that basement here? Can I get blueprints of the area?
I mean, yeah, it looks like you could double check with the archives at the library.
Well, these libraries seem like they're for kids. You sure it? You know what? If it has it, if you say it has it, fine. I'll go check. Definitely want to check. I just want to see. I just want to check out the blueprints to see if there might be any hidden entrances.
Looks normal, though it does look like it's has a really big. Used to have a really big stone fencing around it, and there's just sort of like the well, and that's just sort of like in the basement.
So the well is in the basement.
Yes.
do we have information about? Does the blueprint say where the well goes down to?
It goes down to an underwater cave system, but it does not clarify.
Oh, okay. Guess that explains how they got in.
Out of character, I gotta know. What is your thoughts on what do you think's happening?
What do I? Well, obviously these. Well, what I think is these kobolds managed to find their way towards the well, and I guess they're like I have no clue, honestly. I really don't. Like, all I know is that these kobolds are threatening the lives of these children, and they need to be put down. And if there is a well that leads to an underwater cave, of some sort, then maybe that might be the source of where they're coming from.
Okay, just double checking here.
Okay, sorry. So, what exactly is going on?
Reese decided to go do investigating of his own.
I'm gathering information. Look. Okay. Well, if that's it, then I'm going to head back to the inn.
Alright, you do so.
Just head to my room, review what I have, probably head to bed.
Alright, so nothing happens during the night. Next day, what do you guys do as you wake up?
I am definitely gonna go ahead and get us myself some food and my dragon some food.
Alright.
Brecky.
What about you, Crow?
Brecky.
Alright. What about you? Well, I seriously has to be doing something.
He's chilling in a pool in fucking Florida.
Yeah. So what about you, Reese?
Probably head downstairs, get some food.
Alright. You guys sit down and get some food. The dragon and the kitsune are sort of like playing sort of like the clapping the hands game.
I'm going to share with the other two what I learned about the well in the underwater caverns.
Alright. Go ahead.
Do you want me to role play that out?
If you want to.
I'll just tell them the information.
Alright. So he tells you guys the information. Well, what do you guys do?
Drug.
So
He has to move it.
he tells us that. So what does he tell us? I'm sorry. That's
Uh,
in the background.
In the basement, there is a well that leads to an underwater cavern, which may be where the kobolds came from. How they got in.
Just looks over at Lucas's character. We were aware of this, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, it is definitely something we need to either inform the gods about or take care of at some point. But I figure either taking care of that or the vampire first would
So
be.
not gonna lie.
Well,
Kobolds are literally
again, that
not
was what
doing
we were going to be
shit.
discussing this morning.
So, there may be innocent
So
kobolds
it depends
out
on
there.
what you two want to do, either the kobolds or the vampire first.
The kobolds are probably going to be easier on us.
They're definitely going to be easier. But of course, the pay might not be as good as the kobolds haven't caused any problem for the orphanage yet.
If we're gonna be doing both, then what does the pay matter?
Yeah, that is absolutely fair. In all honesty, I don't like the idea of kobolds hanging out below an orphanage anyway. Kids won't, don't want any of the kids getting hurt.
Then it seems obvious. Let's just go clear it out.
But we can't exactly just quite do that. It is a kobold den, after all. There's, well, who knows how many of the little buggers are down there.
Which brings
And
up the fact I brought up last time. Fire.
we don't
That would not work.
Fire.
If there's an underwater cavern down there, as I said, then they can just escape down there, couldn't they? So trying to suffocate them or even burn them with fire wouldn't work.
I mean, it's more about sending the message of don't fucking come back.
By doing property damage.
Do we know it's gonna cause property damage?
A fire? In an orphanage?
Well, no, I'm not so much concerned about the fire in the orphanage, although that does raise alarming questions as well. I'm more concerned about it is still a cave that kobolds have dug out. There's most likely gases and other things down there that we can't exactly just set on fire. It'd be best to check it out before collapsing our only known entrance to the tunnel, because if you set off fire down there in a confined space, it is most likely going to explode. And doing so would be pretty bad for not only yourself, the orphanage, but for pretty much the entire town.
These are all very good points. We can... You guys seem pretty well equipped. I'm sure we can handle a few kobolds. Sure, we don't know how many there are, but that's why you have me. I can crowd control a bit.
Yes, but again, it's Kobold Den. It's not exactly large enough for humans to crawl into efficiently. So you have to worry about how much space we're going to have down there to move around. It's not exactly like the well was originally designed for people to have to go down and check out.
Right? What do you suppose we do?
It is a bit of a difficult one, but we're probably going to need some help exploring nearby areas to see if we can locate an exterior entrance rather than just the well, because going down that well is going to be dangerous. There's no guarantee that the kobolds don't know that there are humans or even light coming up through that part of the well, so we have to find a second entrance most likely. I don't disagree with the idea of fire. I believe smoking out the kobolds would be an efficient matter as long as we were to plug up the well first off. But then again, the issue comes down to where's the other entrance? Where did these kobolds originate from? How big of a group are we talking about? We need these questions answered before we can actually move on with that. Because if it's just a simple, small little kobold den, it's not too bad. But if it's a den that spreads out through the entirety of the town, and effectively we're all walking over a massive, maybe potentially thousands of kobolds, then that's a scenario where us going down there would result in our deaths.
Perhaps we can ask around town about other caves in the area.
Potentially other caves, but it would be best if we contact the gods to see what they decide to do. And of course, until the orphanage actually puts out a request for them to be dealt with, there is not much we can do. We would just be trespassing and entering, and then potential damage to property. And I say talking to the guards is going to be our best start.
Let them get to the kids, and then it's our problem.
Yes, but we're trying to avoid kids being hurt in the first place. No?
Do you see the issue with just waiting until the thing's been put out? Normally someone's hurt by that point.
I understand that's the issue, but there are still legalities that we have to follow in order to get things done. I'm not disagreeing with you. I do think we need to go down there and fix the issue. But we can't just go willy-nilly without any information. I don't believe those cats are still around town. I would love to have one of them assist us in going down there and actually mapping out the area, seeing how many they can actually see down there.
You need. So you need someone. So you need a small animal to go down there. I can help with that. I have a spell called Find Familiar.
I know this spell. That's actually a very useful spell for this scenario.
I can cast it. It'll take me a few minutes, but it is possible. What would you like me to make?
Trying to think of the limits of that spell right now. I actually don't know the exact limits at a low level.
Shh, there you go.
Oh, shit. It should definitely be something that the kobolds won't find unusual to see in their tunnel.
A
But it
bat?
definitely
Mouse?
needs...
A rat?
Rat?
Something that I could definitely see in the dark would be much more advantageous. But it also needs to be something not as big as a rat, because the kobold might eat the rat if they spot it.
Kobolds eat everything.
This
What
is true.
about a
One
spider?
tried. Good.
It's too small for a kobold to be interested in eating. It can see in the dark, it can climb on the walls and go up any vertical shafts that may be down there. And it could just be down there independently on its own, with no issues.
I hope you know kobolds aren't fans of pests.
They're not going to be
Typically.
fond of anything being down in their tunnels, but the spider is most likely the one thing that they won't see down there. Remember,
And how
kobolds
sure
may
of
be
that
able to
are
see in
you?
the darkness, but they can only see in black and white. They won't be able to exactly distinguish a small little gray spider on the wall of their cave compared to, say, a rat scurrying around. The spider is
But
quiet.
moving around, they're gonna have problems with it.
Either way, it's better the spider moving around where it's much harder to see than a rat moving around and getting them hungry. No?
I could give it a shot. I can summon a spider pretty easily.
It is your spell. You get whatever familiar you prefer.
I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna focus
Sorry.
and summon that spider.
Alright, you summon a spider.
Quick question: do you actually have the reagents to cast that spell?
The reagents.
In case you didn't notice, that's a spell that has not only a cost listed, but the reagents are consumed in the casting. Therefore, you need the reagents on you in order to cast it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where are we going to get? All right, then I'll just go and buy them. Shouldn't be too hard. We got money.
Alright.
Let me just.
Quick question: how are you going to pay for the brass brazier? Brazier? Brazier. There it is. Because that's not actually included in the cost.
Unless he has something that allows him to ignore the components.
He doesn't.
That. Oh, I was gonna. Take a look.
You don't even need to check. I already know.
All right. Well,
I mean,
that's what I gotta do. So it's not even included. That's a little concerning.
No, I forgot about the material components of the spell too.
Everyone forgets
Why?
about the material components to that spell.
By fire. Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I see it. Well, if you are willing to invest in this, if you're willing to invest in this idea, then I'm gonna need a bit more money.
Well,
How much is a bit more?
That's a good question.
I don't quite exactly have a lot of money on me. This isn't my town, or rather my city even. If we were to go talk to the gods, discuss the issue with them, because this is more of a town god issue than just three adventurers and their pets. Maybe they would be able to assist us in scouting out the area or providing us with resources to use the spell. I think they would be more happy than enough to provide, materials instead of payment, or at least this part, depending on how wide of a range these kobolds are taking.
All right. Sounds
Of course,
good
it's
to me.
always worth talking.
Yeah, it sounds good. Because other than that, I've got nothing.
Alright. So, you guys go look for the nearest guard?
Yeah.
Alright, you go do so.
Unless, Lucas, do you have any other input?
No, not particularly.
Okay. I'm gonna be right back. I have to switch my phone. I'm gonna be mute for a minute.
Hello.
Hello.
Look for my spells.
Yeah, sorry to disrupt the whole flow of you guys' planning there, but that was kind of an important little detail everyone overlooked.
Oh no, you're fine. You did your job.
No problem at all. Let's see. Ooh.
Me, like, hey guys, why don't we just, fuck them up with a fire? Everyone else, why are you insisting on burning things?
I guess you have to admit, from an actual tactical perspective, a fire is by far not the most advantageous of weapons in this particular circumstance.
No, but tactically it is also the most sound.
Well, then, of course, you also have to look at the property damage and the fact alone that you guys are the outsiders here, and you're going to be doing property damage on a hunch that it might get rid of the problem. Quick question, do you have the actual funds to pay for whatever you end up destroying in the process?
No.
Because I guarantee you that whatever reward you're getting is not going to cover an entire building collapsing.
How much was that room, by the way? I want to mark it on my sheet.
That's a page question.
If memory
Purge?
serves, it was 2 silver?
Okay. How's everyone's day going?
Fine.
Are we still waiting on Aussie?
No, he's here.
Okay, I thought he was still
Yeah,
gone.
no,
My
I'm
apologies.
here. I'm just staying quiet for a minute.
My apologies, I thought you were still gone. So anyway, so you guys go do that. You guys go and look for a guard. Where do you go look?
Is there not a barracks?
Technically, in this town, there kinda is, but at the same time, do you want to look there or do you want to look elsewhere?
The barracks is a sure place.
Alright. You guys go there. And you find one of the guards. What do you ask him?
I mean, they're insisting on that. I'm insisting on fire. I'm gonna let them run with their idea. I'm still keeping mine on the back burner.
Alright. So, Offie, Reese, how are you going to convince him?
Give me a second. I am thinking of a game plan here real quick.
Yeah, hold on. Before we go on any further, I gotta do something. I have to do this every time we take a long rest. It's for port. Those are terrible! Oh, okay.
Good thing you can use portion on other people.
Yeah. 7. Well. Alright. Ready to keep going.
Alright. My question remains the same. What do you guys do?
Well, my question is who are we talking to?
One of the guards you've seen at the barracks.
Hold on. Sorry, give me a second. Feel free to continue. I'm gonna be right back.
Alright, Reese, what about you?
Okay. Oh. I'm not very good at talking. Okay.
Welcome to our socially awkward group. You'll fit in just fine.
So I approached the guard and I asked them how they're handling the kobold invasion at the
Infestation?
Thank you.
Because I'm
At
like,
the
invasion isn't quite
orphanage.
the word you're looking for, homie.
To repeat, I asked the guard what they plan to do, if they know about the infestation of kobolds at the orphanage and what they plan to do about it.
The guard's like, wait, what?
Sorry about my friend, sir. My name is Teo Silverdew. You might know me. I am part of the Silverdew clan. What is your name?
Billy.
Nice to meet you. So, as he mentioned prior, we were at the orphanage not all too long ago to take care of a infestation of rats that they had. We are adventurers right now, and as we were taking care of that, we ran into an incident and discovered that there were kobolds in the well below the orphanage. In doing so, we figured we should contact you, the town guard, and see what you want to do about it, as I don't believe the orphanage has noticed or put out a requests for assistance on it. Unfortunately, we would take care of it, but we don't want to cause any property damage to the orphanage or the town. Considering one of our compatriots wants to use fire to smoke out the kobolds, I figured it'd be best if we tried to investigate and refer to you all to see what course of action would be best to take.
They're gonna say
So,
first, where are the kobolds?
down in the water reserve of the actual basement of the orphanage.
Okay. And you see them pull out a bunch of maps and begin doing some cross-referencing. So how would you like us to help?
Sorry, I just started dying. Give me 1 second. Okay, better. So, unfortunately, we do not have quite the funds to cast a specific spell, Find Familiar, with my compatriot here. We were planning to send a spider down into the labyrinth to potentially map out the area and also try to find a second entrance. We don't want to go through the well due to the sheer amount of space that might be down there, potential damage to the orphanage,
You can
and of
always
course
check the
collapse
sewers.
the tunnel. You think it might be connected to the sewers?
I mean, yeah, there's cracks, caves, and little areas all the time. Who knows what you'll run into down there?
Have you all had anyone search down there in the past year or so?
Heh, we've tried. So far, we can just keep the area that is basically pretty big, or basically, it's one of the things where we can only go so far before we get overpowered.
What do you mean overpowered?
We only have so many people, and the sewers are very big.
Yes, but you're saying overpowered in the sewers. That means that there's something dangerous in the sewers that we'd have to fight?
I mean, the cave
Other
systems
than
are pretty
kobolds.
large. The cave systems are pretty large. So, I guess, kind of... Hello?
Hello. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I had to switch back from my phone.
The cave systems are quite large, and because they're caves that we haven't even gotten the ability to explore yet completely, not to mention things we don't even know about yet, there's a lot.
Then how about we assist you in mapping out some of this area? We will do our best to track down a second entrance to the Kobold's caves, and if we are capable of doing so, we can smoke the kobolds out and take care of them. Of course, we may need some assistance with gathering resources for us to map out the area. This way you can keep your guardsmen where you need to, and of course we can take care of an issue we discovered.
Alright, we'll pay for it so long as you guys help us out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and smile and say, well, that sounds like a deal to us. And I'm going to take out a piece of paper and well, I actually don't have a quill and ink pen, actually.
I mean, You could ask them. Oh god, they're firing off more fireworks now.
Yeah, I hear it in my area too.
You might be hearing
It's
it
been
through
raining
my mic.
here, so
Actually, I'm just gonna take a piece of charcoal off one of my used torches, and I'm just going to use it to scribble down on the papers specific ingredients for the Find Familiar spell. And of course, any ingredients I don't know about, I refer to our magic person for.
Alright.
And I'm going to slide that over to the guard and ask if you could possibly secure these specific materials, we will be able to cast our spell and potentially be able to figure out most of the underground. Of course, it'll be a familiar, so he should receive most of the information semi-telepathically, and we can get you a pretty secured map of the tunnels without anyone having to go down below.
Alright. Now, out of character, I have to end early because fireworks are big, and and long story short, puppy.
That is absolutely fine if you need
That's
to.
fine.
If you just need to hold the puppy while you're DMing too, you can also continue that. But if you don't want to, that's fine.
Yeah, it's one of the things where I was kind of hoping they wouldn't really do it today, but
Oh,
it's
they're
4th
going
of July.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, so far it seems like she hasn't hurt them yet, but it's the entire thing of I still need prepared to go get the puppy.
Yeah.
One
that's
time
fine.
she got under the porch, and then it started to rain. She almost drowned.
Oh no.
Oh.
So it's one of
Yeah.
the
Go.
it's one of
Yeah,
the
you
things
go
where
get
I
that
can
pupper.
it's one of the things where I can do stuff like the party games because I have the Jackbox thing. So I can host party games and also play on my phone. So I can move about and check on her.
Looking for my spells. The only thing that I need. I only just need the components for Find Familiar. The other one that I have that might need something that costs is Identify. But we're not going to be. I don't think we're going to be using
Identify
Identify.
does require you to have the pearl,
Yeah.
as a price is actually specified on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only spell that I really try to get as just like as a you don't have to spend material components on this spell as much as I can if I use the spell at all.
Right.
Thank you for the raid.
I think I've only ever played 1 or 2 characters that had that spell on their spell list and didn't have it for free.
Yeah, I know what you mean. No, there is
Pacific. I'm being a real shit stick to the Soviets right now.
Well,
damn
I'll
it.
see you guys. Well, I'm ending the stream now. If you guys
Alright.
want to just hang out and play the party games, I can do that. But otherwise, I gotta go keep eye on puppy.